All right, this is the video for activity B. So you need your Gizmo open and your doc for activity B, and let's jump right into it. So it says, this time we are going to be, the main question we're going to be focusing on is how do alleles determine fur color? Now you may not know what alleles are, but that's what we're going to learn in this video. So it says, introduction, inherited traits are encoded on a molecule called DNA, so we knew that. Genes are a tiny little portion of that DNA that controls a particular trait. And then most genes have several different versions or alleles. The genotype is the allele combination. So let's see. Let me see if I can show you this here. Let's see if we could do this. Okay, so DNA is like this big long strand, right? You have big strands of it. And then in your DNA, there's actually two separate strands that go together and they kind of twist in what we call a double helix. This is not the best version of this. And then if we were to look at each of those little strands, it's actually made up of, this is like the zoomed in version of it, these little segments. And these little segments are different genes for different, let's say this one is for, this one here could be for eye color. That's for your eye color. And because there's two strands, if you look back over here, you have two strands, that means that you could have two different genes for eye color. So you could have one that is, let's see if I could do this, blue, say from your one parent, and you could have a gene from another parent. Let's see if I can do, so you have two of those strands. See if I draw another strand. And the same one is for eye color here, but let's say this parent has the one for brown eye color. Now we learned last time that some genes are dominant over other ones and you'll only see that trait. So brown is dominant. So as long as you have one gene or one allele, so the gene is eye color, the allele is the two different colors. So you could have a blue allele or a brown allele. Does that make sense? If not, send me your questions. So going back to our Gizmo, it says most genes have several different versions or alleles. So your eye color, there's several different versions you could have. The genotype is the combination of alleles that you get. You're gonna have two alleles, one from each parent. So on the Gizmo, it says turn on show genotype, move your cursor over the mouse to see its genotype. So over here, you're gonna click show genotype. And do we need to have anything? Oh, black mouse and a white mouse into the parent boxes. Whoops. So we have a black mouse and a white mouse. So when I drag my mouse over the white mouse, it says lowercase f, lowercase f. And when I drag it over the black one, it says capital F, capital F. So F means fur color. Usually you use a letter that represents what the phenotype or the physical appearance is. So fur, that's why we have the capital Fs. And let's go back over here. It says, move your cursor. What is the genotype of the black parent? Complete sentences. Black parent's genotype is capital F, and the white parent genotype is lowercase f, lowercase f. So we call this homozygous. Homo means the same, not whatever you're thinking. So homozygous for fur color, meaning both alleles are the same. They're both capitals, both lowercase. The letter doesn't really matter because they should be the same letter. It says click breed. What is the genotype of the offspring mice? So let's go back to our Gizmo, click breed. Take your mouse, drag it over the offspring, capital F, lower F, capital F, lower F, capital F, lower F, capital F, lower F, capital F, lower F. All the offspring are capital F, lowercase f. And this means that they're heterozygous. Hetero means different. So they have one allele for black and one allele for white. But they are black. So it says analyze. Dominant alleles are always expressed when present. Recessive alleles are not expressed when the dominant allele is also present. Look at the two alleles for fur color. So we have capital F and lowercase f. Our black ones are capital F, and our white ones are lowercase f, lowercase f. Our offspring are capital and lowercase and are all black. So it says, which is the dominant allele? So if you have this one, you will always be this color. Is it that if you have capital F, you'll always be black? Or if you have lowercase f, you'll always be white, no matter how many you have of them? And actually, the dominant allele is the capital F. That's why it's capital. For black. The recessive allele is lowercase f for white. So in order for a mouse to be white, it has to have two lowercase f's. If it has one capital F, it's gonna be black. Number 3 says predict. Place 2 of the capital F, lowercase f offspring into the holding cages. Click clear and then place them into the parent boxes. So we're gonna look at which alleles could the offspring inherit from parent 1, which alleles could the offspring inherit from parent 2, and what are the possible genotypes. So we're gonna put 2 of these down into the holding cage, clear, and we're gonna put them back up here. So what parent 1, the alleles they could get from parent 1 are capital F and lowercase f. The offspring could get a capital F or a lowercase f from parent 1. And since they're the exact same, we can do the same thing for question B. The offspring could get a capital F or lowercase f from parent 2. Now, what do you think the possible combinations of all those letters are if each parent only shows one? What are the possible combinations? Are all of them going to be capital, capital? Are they all going to be lowercase, lowercase? Or could they be capital, 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 lowercase, lowercase, lowercase? This is your choice. You have to fill that in on your own. Then we're actually going to experiment. It says click breed several times and look at the genotypes of the offspring. Did you find all the predicted genotypes? So make your prediction. If you haven't made your prediction, do that. Pause this video and do it now. Okay, now let's breed. Let's see what our offspring look like. Does it say how many times to do it? Several times. Several means a couple. So we got some capital F, lowercase, capital lower, capital, capital, ooh, lowercase, 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 lowercase. The white ones are lowercase, lowercase. We got black, that's capital, 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 lowercase, capital, lowercase, capital, 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 lowercase, 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 capital, lowercase, capital, lowercase, and capital, lowercase. So we actually have 3 possible combinations. The geno means the gene types. The genotypes of the offspring are capital, 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 lowercase, or lowercase, lowercase. How do we know this, or why does this happen? It really depends on which letter the parent gives. And this is what we're going to look at in activity C, is how we can actually predict those. So watch the next video for activity C if you need help with that one.